Hello everyone, Ryan here. Fired Up. Fired Up stars Nicholas D. Agosto and Eric Christian Olsen as Sean Colfax and Nick Brady, a couple of star football players, high school football players, who scheme to ditch football camp so they can spend the summer surrounded by beautiful girls at cheer camp. And, of course, they end up having the time of their lives as they use their new reputation as quote-unquote sensitive guys to talk the hotties into skinny dipping, cheering naked, and hooking up, and all of that usual good stuff. Of course, eventually Sean falls for the head cheerleader, and she also happens to become suspicious of their motives, and because of that, towards the end, they end up, I guess, essentially changing their game to try to prove Sean's intentions before the final cheer competition. Overall, this is definitely a very funny movie. Of course, this came out sometime in 2009, I believe. I've since watched it a number of times, definitely more than a handful of times. I don't really know why. Well, I mean, it is a good movie. It's very funny. I guess for me, this isn't like your typical cheerleading movie. And I don't know, just for me, like, a lot of the jokes are smart and witty. Yeah, there are some corny, cheesy moments here and there. But also, too, it's interesting because usually in these kinds of teen movies, they usually have just one guy who is like the most popular, or the ladies' man. But in this movie, both of these two guys are the most popular, and I guess you could say they're kind of like the Casanovas of their high school. And so, I mean, and on top of all the interesting, witty comedy throughout this movie, it's also populated by, really a lot of beautiful cheerleaders. Yeah, I mean, usually when you hear people say that, that there's, that you got to see this movie, man. There's a lot of hot cheerleaders in it, but then usually when somebody says that and you go and you actually see whatever movie they're talking about, that's really not the main focus of the movie. And I guess for this movie, it's really not the main focus, but I mean, pretty much, I would just say this, like 80 to 90% of this movie is just about hot, beautiful cheerleaders. That's really, that's what it is. The rest of the story just lacks a lot of, I don't know what, it lacks a lot of everything, really. But I mean, just the two main characters alone, Sean and Nick, they are hilarious themselves. And then especially when they're surrounded by all these beautiful cheerleaders and they're trying to impress them, it's kind of like they become even more hilarious. But at the same time, you root for them because, they're still able to essentially convince a lot of these cheerleaders to buy into their whole, sensitive guy routine, and which is an interesting thing to see. And granted, I know I'm not saying that I believe such a thing should be widely promoted, but it is, a part of reality. It is a part of what does unfortunately tend to go on when it comes to relationships and impressing people, especially when you're trying to impress somebody that you having to like or have some kind of crush on her, you know. But I mean, definitely overall, it's a decent movie. The story lacks a lot, I will admit that. But I do say it's worthy of a rating of at least 7.5. Yeah, 7.5 tamales out of 10. 7.5 out of 10. And again, yeah, this movie it's just 80 to 90% of nothing but beautiful, hot cheerleaders. So yeah, that pretty much do it for this movie review. Let me know if you've seen this as well. Also, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. Check me out on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. And as always, till next time, keep it real, keep on rocking, and peace.